so crazed when you burn in hell forever. Oh, so crazed when you burn in hell forever, 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 forever. Boulevard. Boulevard. Oh, so crazed when you burn in hell forever, 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 forever. Boulevard.
This is where I play make-believe DJ. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Blvd Bullies versus the world. I'm your host, PK, Blvd Bullies, and I am joined by my hosts, making it back from his week off, looking better than ever, sounding great. We got Ringside Sean in the house.
Hello, everybody. This is Ringside Sean with my ASMR microphone.
Yes. Sounds so good.
Just don't open packs of cards like Brian does on the air. Now, also, Brian, I think we got some new nicknames for you. Bad Take Bri, the One Punch merch guy. In the house. Hello. How
Dude,
are
my hand is swollen.
You're skipping a little bit. You're skipping probably because the adrenaline. It's coming through so hard.
Adrenaline rush.
That makes me tight because I'm directly connected, so I pay for good internet, bastards.
Hey, you're fine. It'll get better.
You're fine. You look good. You look great. You know, it doesn't matter because this one, I know we say it every week, but this episode is the one that we're finally going to upload the audio of to whatever.
Yeah, of course. And it's one where you talk about me punching someone in the face, and so I'm incriminated.
What are you talking? You didn't do that. You
Right.
got smoked by Kid Osborne, didn't you?
I did.
Brian, you had the most interesting Saturday, probably the most interesting Saturday that any of us have had in recent memory. Besides, actually, after last week when Steve came back to your apartment with us and smoked the grav bong, that he probably was on the brink of a mental breakdown.
He might still be having a panic attack.
Got a little bit too high, but he fought it off. I was so proud of him. But besides that, you've had the most interesting night of the week since we last spoke.
I was then, and usually I was in Sean's shoes. Usually Sean's there by himself, and now I was in the trenches by myself.
So tell me, Brian, how was it?
It was awesome.
Energy was high. You were all over the place.
I was slinging Larry merch. Stole a shirt.
I am very proud of you because every camera angle that I came upon, I saw Brian and his pink hat.
Saw me in my little pink hat, my little incriminating pink hat.
And I was like, look at this guy. Look at this guy in his element. Loving it. Living life.
Oh, dude, my voice just came back for the show. But if you can't tell, I'm a little raspy.
A little hoarse.
A little raspy.
A little hoarse. But it was awesome.
So, I mean, I've burnt basically every bridge that I could even walk across. So, I can't really stop my dear friends and loved ones from doing things that I'm no longer welcome at. So, Sean.
I think it would have been fine if you were there.
Sean doing a great job renouncing Outlaw. A lot of huge shows coming up. And Brian doing a great job just going out one night, cutting loose. Cutting loose. You know what? I'm so happy. I am so happy. I just want to say I'm so happy for both of you guys. I'm just saying, like, don't take it for granted, because you're just a few too many Hennessy's or cocktails away from maybe just losing it all, Dude, it can all just go away like that. You can lose all this.
In my professional Blvd Bully opinion, it would have been just fine if you were there.
No, well, listen, it's a different situation.
I'm just saying.
I could go to a promotion. I wouldn't feel bad about going to a promotion that I was fired from. I could go hang out, relax. It's all good. NYWC, right. I've been fired.
Got a
Outlaw,
ticket.
I've been fired. I could go. I would never do the Jericho. I would never waive the ticket.
Gotta waive the ticket.
No, I would hang back. Because it would take a lot of strength for me to do that. But I don't have enough strength in me to go to a fucking Cass run. Steve refereed, Nick Carp photographed, Kid Osborne wrestled on. Like, makes my blood run cold.
The Kingsland is 5 minutes from my house, and what kind of? And it's like
I'm not upset. You go live your
I'm
life.
just saying.
But I'm just saying, I appreciate, like, you're such a nice person. You're such a good-hearted person.
Good wrestling fans, right? Good
you guys are great wrestling
We're
fans.
good wrestling fans, Brian.
And
you
know
have
what?
to embrace it.
I had my Blvd Bullies shirt hard on.
Repping it.
You know
always.
what? Thank you. That's very nice of
hard
you.
on.
You know, and makes my blood run cold, though. The thought of it, for me at least. Like, I couldn't do that. But you're so sweet. You're such a nice guy because you're like, I think it would have been fine if you were here. It's like, Brian, you just can't even. You're so sweet.
Could have had Bullies merch with Larry's
everywhere.
merch.
No. I would rather never sell another shirt again than have my merch table touch Steven Cuck Muskoff's merch table.
Could have had Larry's in between. Wouldn't be touching.
No, it would be in the same building. I'm okay. I'm okay.
I will say
hey,
that
thanks
I
so
had
much, Brian.
An exceptional time. Larry came to my house before the show. We shared pizza. I had pizza and beers with Larry. Had him hit the grav bong as well. Killed him. He was dead.
Mm-hmm.
It was an amazing time.
Good.
I'm glad you had a nice time with that. Larry is a legend, and he is the best.
Shout out, Larry.
I like that Larry Legend shirt. What does it say? And I don't want to...
Isn't it a dope shirt? And I don't want to wait any longer.
Why is that? Does he do that now? Is that one of his new phrases?
It's been a phrase.
When Damanso gives him the microphone, that's what he says.
Can you see the back of it?
Oh yeah, that's dope. I like the logo, man. The logo's so sick.
It's the UK colors, because it's the
speaking
UK exclusive shirt.
Speaking of No Holds Barred and the UK, did you see Treatmont's not going to be able to make the shows out there?
I did. I made a comment on the post and asked if he's okay, and I got a yes.
He's good.
Yeah,
he
he's
got
fine.
other things going on.
Yeah, he probably can't get away.
Right, you think it's like a travel thing, or do you think it's like it must be like a travel thing?
Well, it's probably a life and travel thing, I mean,
yeah, things happen, travel happens, but
it's not easy to get like work visas nowadays, is it?
I mean,
I guess I don't know about that.
For someone, wasn't he just recently in Japan?
Tremont?
Yeah, with GCW. There's like 2019. A visa's like 5 years.
I guess 2019.
Or like 7 years.
I'm not sure how long they last. It might be like only a year.
I mean, I had my visa for like.
It's like I feel like
almost
visas
10
are
years
the
now.
amount of I feel like is it not like the amount of time you go there for is like your visa, then it's up, then you come back?
No, so like the actual visa is good for a certain amount of time, like an ID. But once you fill up the pages, then obviously you have to go and get a new one because they can't stamp anymore. I think it's 2 stamps per page.
Can't triple stamp a double stamp. Kenny Omega had visa trouble too.
Really?
Like, to the naked eye, he appeared on Rampage, but that was really taped from Wednesday. I don't know. I guess that how we were saying, like, oh, the Young Bucks appeared the Wednesday after the Elite won the trios titles. We were hating that Kenny Omega wasn't there, and they just did a tag match. But apparently it was like there were work visa issues. That then were then resolved for the Wednesday night, Friday taping of their defense. That's why Kenny Omega hasn't been around.
To be there. He was planned to be there.
Yeah, I mean, one could assume. Yeah. So
does he live in the States now?
I honestly don't know. I don't know. I think he might be a resident of Japan.
Yeah,
I think that might be a safe bet.
Yeah, that's pretty weird to think that he'd be traveling.
Does he consistently do bookings over there?
That's what I was thinking.
Is he doing shit off of AEW?
The next big show for New Japan is in San Bernardino with Miss Monet's match.
Right.
So I don't see any promotion that would be over there.
Maybe anyway.
Video game?
Anyway, Matt Tremont's not going to the No Holds Barred.
That's depressing.
Well, yeah.
He'll be replaced that way. It'll be someone probably dope.
They always say to give them an hour. I mean, I haven't heard anything.
Well, I mean, it would be smart to probably just
find out.
It's hard to find someone that probably has a visa to be able to go to England.
Well, I mean, it's just one guy. Maybe they don't even take somebody from the United States. Maybe they just have the UK end of it fill somebody in.
That's true. That'll be
wow. The post was literally an hour ago. Literally.
I think that it's going to end up being with Pat. It's going to be like someone from Rise that just like takes over.
Maybe it's somebody from out there, right?
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Maybe it'll be Kid Osborne who punched you, Brian, on Saturday.
Can you explain to us how that even happened, Brian?
We'll take us back to the first run in.
Oh, the Shred Shed.
Yeah.
I was the
Start
only
there.
person that Cass invited to the only guy that he was allowed to have, and Osborne kicked me in my face.
Like legit kicked you in the face?
He super kicked me.
Oh shit!
It was like a running pump kick.
If you watch the match, I sell it pretty well.
He must have played a lot of video games because that is definitely a video game thing. Running super kick.
I'm out for a good like 2 minutes, and you see me in the shots, and like I'm still down, and eventually I like start getting up slowly, like staggering, and then I'm like just like hanging on the tree.
Basically, this was like a Hardy compound, COVID match. And Brian was an onlooker who wandered in and started. Like he was like, wrestling. Then pulled up a chair and was like cheering. And then Kid Osborne kicked him, and then he sold for the remaining like 8 minutes. 6 of those he was just still laying face down. Like
I think you're working with something, Brian. I think this is something that could continue.
Basically, and then at this show, I was in Kit's face, verbally abusing him. And he punched me in the mouth.
Now, when you say verbally abusing him, you want to not actually say the curses, but can you
I was repeatedly calling him a piece of shit, Kit.
Oh, okay.
And that he was about to get hit in the face with chocolate. But it turned out that I got hit in the face before I saw what happened, and it wasn't chocolates. It was a heart-shaped box filled with thumbtacks.
See, Brian,
you're about to get hit with chocolates.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about. Brian, your heart is so pure. Your heart is so pure that even at a no-ring death match, you saw a box of heart-shaped box.
You're getting hit with chocolate.
And you thought there were actual Valentine's Day loving chocolates in there.
I did.
Oh man, that
was my last words before I got punched in the mouth.
Wow.
And then Casanova actually kisses Kid Osborne. He kissed him.
Oh, that's sweet.
Valentine's Day kiss.
How long was this knockout of yours? How long were you out for?
Now, did you sell? Did you sell?
I fell into the wall. My hat flew off.
Yeah,
okay.
Good job. You always got to have the hat fly off.
I flew into the wall. Yeah, I thought it was good. It was
good. Pat, I think we're working with something here with Brian's bumps.
It's so funny that you mentioned that because when the Blvd Bullies first started, and Steve DeCasa, shout out in the chat, recovering from his gravity bong possible panic attack. When we first started, we say, hey, how cool would it be if we could get to the level where we're doing a show? It's like a mocking vlog show about wrestling fans, but then we're getting punched by the wrestlers. Like, how cool would it be if we could like get Papadon to like hit us or like so and so, And then before long we realized how easy it was to actually get them to beat you up because they love doing it.
They love it.
Yeah, we were at I think one of our first no ring matches before we refereed. It was Death Match 8. And it was Stockade versus Cass. And Stockade body slammed both me and Steve onto Cass.
Oh, wow.
And then by Deathmatch 10, it was DJ Hyde, and we had a whole thing where Kit was going to super kick Steve, and then DJ Hyde was going to forearm me. Kit completely missed the super kick, so Steve just had to whoa. But then, of course, DJ Hyde rocked me in the face.
Of course.
He forearmed the shit out of me, dude. And then I definitely felt it. It was definitely like a head-on collision type of feeling, but I was okay. But then what I was doing? I was I flew into the crowd and then I sat up, and I was doing a far away look type of deal. I was
you're Jason.
I was blinking a lot, doing the far away, and people were like, "Are you okay? Oh my God, are you all right?" And I was like, "Oh, I think so. Whoa, I'm a little woozy." Yeah, so
I'm feeling woozy. Yeah.
Those days, those early times, it was so fun. But then I think one time, with Cuck Steve, Papadon just slapped him in the face really hard, on it, improvisationally, in an interview. We were working at NYWC, and Steve was hot. He was I am never interviewing that guy again.
Yeah. Was it really funny?
But it's funny looking back on it, being imagine now that I know these guys.
So tight.
Imagine a fan coming up and being could you punch me? And like you're wrestling, like, yeah, okay, kid, I'll fucking punch you. Like,
Wait,
this is
Steve
gonna be
asked him to
awesome.
slap him?
No, but I'm just saying, like, you know, people who first get in the business, like, yeah, I'll take a chair shot from you, you know,
Right,
and then
right.
like as you keep going on more and more, it's like, you know what, I don't want to be harassed. Like at first it's like, oh, it's so funny, like, you know, the guy flipped my hat off, you know,
Right, you
but
just
then
wanna
as
be
you go on and you're like announcing or something, it's like, oh, you know, I don't want you to like threaten to give me a wedgie, please. Like,
involved.
don't make me do like physical. Don't make me like run away oddly, please. You know, like can I just please stand here? You know, but so you got punched, Brian, and then later on in the evening, notice I'm getting through this story no matter how much time it takes, no matter how much backtracking we have to do. I want to hear this story because I forgot that you were wearing a bright pink hat.
I was. It's there.
Now, what happened
Yep.
later on? You gave the punching back. Were you still wearing the pink hat?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, please continue on.
Well, basically, it was about 6 o'clock in the morning at a bar in Queens, New York, and everybody's leaving, and there was a complete d-bag saying the n-word to everybody walking out the door. Right. So the two ladies I were with were not pleased and called him an asshole, which he was. Right. So we then leave, walk away, and because they called him an asshole, they follow it. The man follows us with his shitty wife.
The vagrant. He had a wife.
The vagrants, the goddamn degenerates.
So what was this guy's wife doing while he was saying these things?
Defending him. He's like standing there continuously like antagonizing, and she's like defending him, talking shit.
Strange.
Ugh.
Sounds
The
like a
worst
rough night for
fucking
those two people.
It sounds like 6 o'clock on Queens.
Yeah.
Boulevard. 6 o'clock in the
Yeah.
morning at Queens Boulevard.
It's true
at
that
a bar.
nothing good happens after like 3 o'clock.
Right. Nothing good. Nothing good.
Yeah. No.
But they're arguing tiff taff taff. The guy eventually gets in the lady's face, the ladies that I'm with face, and I say, hold on. Everybody stops, and I punch him directly in his mouth, and he goes to sleep. And then we leave
Go sit like eternal sleep, you think?
like a turtle. His neck went into his shoulders.
Wow.
And
So you
went
killed a
to
guy,
sleep.
basically.
I mean, I didn't hear about it, but
Well, you know, and spoiler alert, Sean wanted to get Amanda's take. So Amanda actually, before we started recording, came on and exhibited to us the way the man fell over. Which was like, tree falling.
Timber.
Now, Brian, you said sack of potatoes, but what Amanda showed us was more of like a tree.
I guess he was like a standing sack of potatoes that slowly fell to the floor.
How old was this gentleman, you think?
He had to have been like 40.
Little older than
40,
you.
40 definitely. He was like a big 6 foot. He was a big boy.
So basically like half of Kevin Gill's age.
You
No,
killed him,
he
man.
might have been like Kevin. Might have been related to Kevin Gill.
No, stop it, Brian. Don't
Twin.
talk like
Might
that.
have been like a twin.
Why was the
I'm
guy?
saying-
What now? How did the wife react when this happened?
Dude, I don't. It's like a whole blur. I feel like I did it and nobody said a word. Like nobody even cared that it happened because he was such a dick. Like
Wow.
even
So the wife was just like, you
I feel
see?
like she like went to go pick his like she was probably saying exactly that. She was probably like, "You see what you did?"
You see what you did, you stupid idiot.
But she was defending. It was a annoying situation, and I never hit anybody in my life.
Well,
Wow. Hey,
And I hit him one punch, dude.
we appreciate
one punch.
you, Brian.
One punch, Bry. The
One
merch
punch,
guy.
Brian. Brian's gonna knock you out.
You understand?
Hey, speaking of merchandise and opportunities to spend money on the Blvd Bullies, I
The
keep
hero
getting
of
I
the
keep
cities.
I keep getting notifications on YouTube about this like member stuff, you know, with like the super chats and the member stuff. So if you look right now, you can see the join below. But I botched it up. I tried to make like cool badges and emotes, but we just put in placeholders for there. Normal price, they suggest $4.99. I made it $2.99. And then I was thinking, maybe in the future
Is it
we'll
like
do
Patreon?
it's like a Twitch subscription, but for YouTube. But I'm thinking maybe if you guys were into it, maybe we do like a Q&A one, like a subscriber only Q&A or something like that. I don't know, but anyway, you can check that out. That's a new thing, and
That's
also,
pretty cool.
Instagram's getting crazy. Throughout all of pandemic, we were dropping from 15,000 down to 14.1, and we stayed at 14.
Because you know why that happened. Do you remember why that happened?
Though they cleaned out the bots.
Well, no, I feel like also because you were like there was like crazy political times, and you like stood your ground standing against racism, and a lot of people unfollowed us. Like,
you know
made
what?
A post. I feel like you made a post about it, and like we lost a lot of followers.
You know what, Brian?
And good.
You're right. And I
Fuck
fuck those people too. Because Brian will come punch you.
You know?
Well, somebody actually during that time, somebody yelled at me. Somebody was like, oh, how dare you not use your platform to speak the things that should be happening. And I was like, what do you mean platform? That's so stupid. Like, nobody cares. It's like, well, you have 14,000 whatever, so you should probably say something. And I was like, oh, yeah, whatever. Then I thought about it. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I do use too many paper towels. Maybe I will post a thing or two. Maybe I will share valuable information about trying to avoid the police and things like that. But that time's over now. We're back to being completely generic, asexual, apolitical, a-religious, except for Brian's thoughts on Jews. And, so the Instagram now is at 15.2, which I believe is an all-time high.
Wow.
So in the and look at this, 1.3 million impressions. We touched 1.3 million people, showing them the things that they already saw. Turns out,
All those reels, all those posts.
People don't want to see stuff that they haven't seen. They want to see the stuff that they saw.
People love nostalgia, bro.
Yeah, nostalgia from the thing that happened on Monday Night Raw 10 minutes ago.
I know. Not something that you personally created, something that somebody else created that you're just reposting.
People like to be kept up to date, informed, in the loop.
That's facts. It's
in
just
the
news.
now.
You're basically just a news station.
Sometimes
Gonzo news journalists.
Gonzo news journalism.
You understand?
And punching.
Knocking motherfuckers out.
You're from Queens. You're the new superhero, huh?
Yeah. Sean, what
was that?
No, go
I
on.
One Punch Brian.
Yeah, One Punch Brian, the merch guy, dude. That's how he goes.
I like that much better.
Watch out, he'll sock you one. And if you hear him say, wait a second, what did you say?
Hold up.
Hold on.
I said, hold on. I said, hold on a second.
If you hear him say, hold on, that's the way he's charging. He's charging his special attack. So
I don't know if you've ever been in a situation where someone gets in like a lady's face, and I've never really been in this situation, but it made me that angry where I had to strike somebody, and I've never did it before.
I don't know if I've ever been in a situation where I've been so angry, but I've definitely been in a situation where that happens. So I'm like, oh, this now I can punch this guy. Yes. No, I'm just joking. But that's good. Like, if you're arguing with somebody and they haven't yelled at a woman, you're on equal ground. Who knows who's right or wrong?
Right.
If somebody yells at a woman, boom, you're right. Punch him.
Right. I agree.
Sean, what's going on with you? How's the tooth? How's the PWJ? Tell us everything.
PWJ is doing well. My tooth is doing horrible. I have to get a root canal. I had horrible insurance. I had to switch everything around, and then with insurances, it doesn't kick in as soon as you enroll for it. So you have to wait a waiting period. So yeah, my waiting period just finally came up, and I actually was able to get seen today. So I'm gonna start getting some.
So you didn't get a root canal, but you're about to.
No, I'm about to. I had to go to a whole new dentist. I had to basically do everything that I did before again. Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks.
PWJ is doing good though. We got some big things coming up for Mania weekend. We're going to be at ETU on the 26th in Ridgefield Park. We're going to have a cool table there with a special card. So if you're in the house, stop by the table, come check it out. And yeah, that's really it.
Sponsoring that event, right?
Yeah, we're one of the I think five or four sponsors that are involved with ETU.
How much money?
So
Did you give?
What?
Tell us how much money. Yeah, how much? Now, was it let me ask you this. Was it a flat cost, or was it like an email like, hey, for this you get this, for this you get this?
No, so I didn't speak to anybody for me to use. My boy Gilbert did. And from my understanding, it's like we doing this and we promote the show and we have a table and
Yeah.
one back
Well,
scratches the other.
Yeah.
I can tell you that in order to get like Blvd Bullies logo onto like ICW,
$500.
Woo.
Every-
I inquired.
everything. Everybody got a price, baby.
Yeah.
$1 Million Man told us this.
I feel like
Well, and
that's
also-
not a bad deal because
Well,
a
how
lot
much
of
do
people are seeing that.
How much do you think it
I agree.
costs to have it actually like put on the thing?
On the map,
Yeah.
probably not much. Probably like fucking $20.
Oh,
Is
word.
it like screen printed onto it, or is
It's
it like a
screen
fucking?
printed.
It's screen printed on. That's pretty
Yeah.
sick,
Yeah.
honestly.
It's
So if anything, that you're probably paying half of what it costs. You're probably paying like the majority of what you're paying for covers that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying, and then some. So they definitely have to make some money.
So your ETU is going to be on the ring?
No.
No, it's
I
not
don't.
gonna be like,
No, it's not going to be on the mat. We're just sponsoring the event
and
along
doing like
with
tables.
our PW. So we're doing a signing at the event as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna have the signing there at the show, and then we use our channel to promote the event, get people out. People who are buying cars that are not familiar with ETU, come buy ETU, come see us, and while you're there, come see Matt Cardona, come see Billy Starks is no longer the car, but come see the Kirks. You know what I'm saying? Come see Treatmont. Come through, say what's up. I guess it's like a really one back scratches the other type of deal. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
we're all in it to, I guess, get to the top.
yeah. You know what you guys need? You need an IWTV commercial, which of course you can pay me to edit for you, which I would have no problem doing.
I never thought of that.
Because
I mean, even on like IWTV always has commercials in between. Like Bocce Boys has a goddamn commercial.
I didn't know that.
They do.
Yo,
They
and
have their own goddamn commercial.
you kind of think about it, right? Like, wow, I'm thinking about this. I smoked a little bit, so now I'm deep in thought business-wise. But it's like, there aren't a large amount. Like in the overall, this is not a knock, but in the overall mathematics scheme of things, there isn't like that many people subscribing and watching IWTV religiously, right? But like somebody who does watch it for like X, who doesn't know about the other thing, Y, you could probably go hard promoting on IWTV for a short amount of time. Feel confident that you've reached everyone that you're going to reach, and just like
dip out.
Yeah, and then dip out. It's kind of like almost like the GCW 24-hour thing. It's like, well, I'm going to pay $800 or however much it was. I'm going to run my ad like 20 times and like, whatever, and then be out. Like, I don't know. It's just interesting to think about the economics of it. Because you're dealing with small numbers. It's like, hey, you pay them a little bit of money to get a table and, make hopefully a whole bunch of money and gain customers, So,
Yeah.
well, and then you promote, you work for them in exchange. It's great. It's
Yeah,
great.
That helps.
Yeah. I've chosen to just instead, once again, it just alienate everyone I've ever met. So that's one strategy. That's another strategy. So we'll see. We'll see which one pans out in the long run.
You're like a Marvel character who lives on his own planet.
Hancock. You're like Hancock.
Yeah, I'm just
like
broadcasting
Ego.
here from the flames of
Ego
hell.
from the Guardians.
Flames of hell.
You ever
Hey,
seen Guardians of the Galaxy?
It's my favorite Marvel superheroes.
Pat is Ego. He's the planet Ego.
Dude, Ego dies.
No, he doesn't.
He
He lives on.
No,
Yeah, he does.
hey,
Ego explodes.
In the movie he does, but in the comic he doesn't.
Okay.
He explodes, and it's considered the second Big Bang.
Right. So he explodes, but he lives.
He lives and he breaks off into particles that go elsewhere.
Jesus
That's
Christ.
beautiful.
Mhm.
Hey,
Nerds.
I just watched Peacemaker. Did I tell you about that? Did we talk about that last week?
I think we
Do
were
you
talking
want
about
to taste? Do
Peacemaker.
you really want to
You were
taste
telling me
it?
you were saying that it has to be watched.
Oh, it must be watched. It's a must watch. I'm into a bunch of new 80s hair metal bands because of Peacemaker.
Yo, dude, it is the best thing DC has put out since Shazam.
Shazam's pretty new.
Shazam is funny.
It's
Yeah, but
new,
like
though, no?
DC has just put it's fairly new, but it's just like DC has put out a bunch of movies, right?
I love the Justice League movie.
The black and white one or the original?
I think
Snyder cut?
It's the Schneider cut.
Yeah, Schneider's.
It's like a longer but it's an
The
awesome.
Schneider cut.
It sounds like I'm about to go pick up bagels and like latkes. I'm going to
Pat,
Schneider's.
Pat,
I'll be right back.
You're not a fan of superhero movies, right?
Me?
No, sorry, Pat.
I like the I mean, yes and no. I loved Spider-Man. I loved Spider-Man up until a point. I love superheroes, and I love superhero movies, but I hate superhero like franchises and all this like retooling
You hate the watering down of it.
relaunching and like the hype of them.
So
It's
let
like,
me
oh,
ask,
we're gonna
what's
do
your
like,
favorite superhero movie?
oh, that is an easy question, Brian.
92
It is
Batman.
no, it's Dark Knight. The Dark Knight, obviously.
Oh,
Like the whole series, or just
No,
the Dark Knight?
two with the Joker, with the
So you didn't
original.
like Batman
funny,
Begins?
Pat, I
Like,
watched
Batman
that last
Begins is
night.
awesome.
Let me tell you, I did not really like Batman Begins, but then after seeing
story.
2, like I think 1 and
you
3 are much
appreciate 1?
weaker, right? But 2 made me appreciate 1 because then it was
Two
like
is definitely the best movie.
because it's like
Brian just likes it because of Seal.
what
Dude,
would you
that's
do
the-
a kiss
that's
by
the Tim-
your
Rose
rose?
on the bed. Oh,
You can't argue that movie's not awesome.
All right,
Dude,
everybody,
it just
right
reminds
now.
me of McDonald's.
Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey as the
I
villain.
have the toys. Yo, for my birthday, bro. Yo, I got the Batmobile. I got the Riddler,
That was
I
the
got
dope
Joker.
Batmobile too.
I mean,
With the blue rims.
Yeah, the LED Batmobile. Yeah.
the Batmobile in the Batman Begins Dark Knight franchise is also awesome.
Yeah,
like
it
a
is.
tank.
You know, I didn't
Like
hate the
a
new
tank.
Batman. I didn't hate the Robert Pattinson.
Ben Affleck? Oh,
No, Robert. You know, but it was like
there's
I
so many
almost
different Batmans.
I liked it because he was so over the top, like emo. He's like, I don't care if I die. You know.
He was like flipping his hair.
yeah,
like this.
and he had the
I don't
eyeliner
care.
on. Everybody, right
Who
now in
was
the comments,
was
write
the
down.
The villain in the Robert Pattinson one was the Joker. I mean, the Riddler.
The
The Riddler.
With Paul Dano.
He looked
Paul
like the
Dano.
Scarecrow though.
Right.
Everybody,
And then
tell
at
us
the
your
end of the
favorite. Tell us your favorite superhero movie right now in the chat. I want to know. I'm sorry. Go on,
I'm
Sean.
interested too. Dude, we grew up in such a sick generation of like those movies being birthed, like the Spider-Man movies and all like.
Brian, what's
first
your favorite superhero movie? Guardians of the Galaxy 1?
2 is probably the best one.
Such a good trilogy.
Dude, it's so good. The trilogy didn't come out yet, Sean.
Well, listen, man. They can't make a horrible Guardians because even the Christmas one. Wait, you know
Dude,
what?
I
It's a
love that
trilogy right
Christmas
now.
movie.
Yes, it is.
Christmas. Well, the Guardians of the Galaxy were technically part of both Avengers movies, the Infinity War and Endgame.
They've been involved with the majority of the
'Cause
Marvel
they're the
Cinematic
best.
Universe. Yeah, they're
Dude,
awesome.
Batista as Drax is the best. Did you guys see the new M. Night Shyamalan movie with Batista?
Nah, don't ruin it, please. No, not
No,
yet.
I didn't see it.
I
Either,
wanna
but
see it. It
I
looks
have
good.
heard if it's good.
I'm not gonna go to the.
Said X-Men 1. That is a good one.
Dude, I saw that in the movie. See, like those movies are legendary movies that were
Yeah,
created.
but I went
to
to
a
see that in the
children.
movie theater because I didn't know any better at the time. Like, you know,
The first X-Men movie is legendary shit.
why don't they remake? Well, it's like Marvel doesn't need to remake
can't
X-Men.
remake
They should
X-Men.
trade
It's
X-Men
supposed
to
to be
DC.
fucking-
Let
what's his
DC do X-Men.
DC can't do X-Men.
I
It's
know, I'm just
fucking
kidding.
Marvel.
You just
God
got to trade
damn.
it. Trade it. Like Marvel's got too much going on, so let somebody else
Well,
make
you know what's
X-Men.
funny that you say that, Pat, is that the guy who directed the Guardians of the Galaxy is now signed on with DC, and he's like their whole head of creative there.
Oh, I heard about that.
Hey,
So
let me tell you something.
Star-Lord or something,
I think
right?
I think that the Peacemakers show is the best thing that DC's done in a long time, and the head showrunner and like creative visionary of that was James Gunn. So if DC was in
That's him.
turmoil, I have no problem being like, hey, whoever wrote this show, whoever made this show, let's just make him the head of DC. Like
So
he
James,
gets it.
James Gunn is Guardians of the Galaxy.
No,
Yeah, that's
James.
him. That's
Oh,
the guy
he
who
is.
took over. Yeah, he's the one who took over.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and the
And they
writing
just
and
released- they just released like the entire like I guess their first phase, and it's like Superman, Swamp Thing, and it looks
Right.
dope.
Yo, they could do a dope Swamp Thing movie because Swamp Thing is Alan Moore, which is the Watchmen guy. That's like that's like some deep, sick shit. They could do a really good Swamp Thing movie. I
Watchmen's DC too, right?
yeah, I suspect yes, I suspect that they probably won't make Swamp Thing as awesome as it can be. But it's cool that they're looking at it though. You know,
It's supposed to be their darkest movie is Swamp Thing.
oh, it's got to be because that's the Alan Moore weird. Because it's the darkest comic from back then too.
Yeah.
You know,
It looks
Beaver
fun.
Mandela was pretty dark.
well, you know, like
That's
even
DC.
I
And
think
so was Spawn. Spawn's dark as fuck too.
I think, but I think Swamp Thing is even before like the Frank Miller Batman and stuff like that. I think Swamp Thing is like
70s.
right on that cusp of like when comic books were getting like gnarly and like dark and esoteric and things like that. But yeah, so whoever cares, I care because James Gunn seems like a talented guy. The Rock's out, you know, and I just want to let you know that I was the first one on the John Cena is cooler than The Rock as an actor bandwagon. And I think in the years to come.
I think Batista's better than them all.
Oh, yeah. So I do want to see that
Oh,
Batista
yeah.
movie, but I'm not going to go to the theater for it. I'll wait for it to stream. Give it like a
I-
month. It'll be
I
on
honestly
HBO
don't-
Max.
It's a travesty not seeing a movie in a movie theater. Because
Did
that's like
you hear
where
that,
it's meant to be seen. That's like when a movie is filmed, it's like cut to be onto TV, you know?
So did
Like,
you guys hear
It's
that
different when you see it in a theater.
Regal Cinemas is closing, right? I used to work for Regal, and I just recently started getting like letters in the mail for them that they're like they going bankrupt
Like
basically. And, like,
Blockbuster.
yeah, basically just like that. So like their theaters are losing their leases. They're not sure when they're closing, but they're closing, right? This was last week's news. Then this week, AMC announces that they're now announcing premium seating in their theaters as if you're like going to a Knick game, a Ranger game, a Yankee game. So you're paying extra for the better seats in the theater. How
So-
wild is that?
Wait, so how much is the best seat in the house?
They haven't gone over pricing
probably
yet,
like,
but if you look it up, it's wild.
Dude,
so if you
that's
want the
so
middle,
weird.
it's probably like $50.
It's probably like an
Oh, that
airplane
makes it
ticket,
sick.
you know? It's like
Yep,
if
so
for
it's
there's
like,
higher
it's a new
demand.
top movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
But I mean, is that-
$70.
That's so lame.
Yep. So it's like
First
if
come,
they're
first serve, motherfuckers.
they're the only thriving really movie theater that's going to be left standing within the next 2 years.
That makes me very upset.
I think it would be so cool to own a movie theater.
Kevin Smith just opened one.
Where
Yo,
Cherry
that's
Hill?
like that's a good
In Jersey.
idea.
It's I don't know how far you live from like that whole area, but it's
Cherry
about-
Hill, about like an hour.
Yeah, but he's like there often, doing like
Really?
events and shit.
Well,
like,
you know, Nighthawk Cinemas in Brooklyn. It's like they have like
Yeah.
good food and like
and
they have like
drinks.
they have
It's
delicious
across the street from
drinks.
Prospect Park.
Yeah, and they have like event nights. It's like, oh well, this month we're showing like Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2
Yep.
every
Get it, and
Saturday.
And Jaws and like 60 frames. Pretty dope.
Yeah, I like that place a lot.
Yo, did you hear? Okay, let's get to the wrestling. Hey, how are you? Thanks for watching Blvd Bullies versus the World. Brian punched a guy.
We're all jacked up because I punched someone in the face.
We're all jacked up. Headlines: Jerry Lawler is sick. Something bad happened to Jerry Lawler. Did I read about it? No, but a lot of people, T's and P's. Jerry Lawler looked great for the Royal Rumble pre-show.
And
Yeah.
Raw 30, he was Raw 30 on Raw 30 too, right?
Yeah, he looked
Yes.
healthy. He looked completely good, but apparently he's having some serious health issues.
So
That
a resident in the vicinity of the loft that he owns in Fort Myers found him face down on the pavement.
Oh
And I
no!
guess Yeah, they found him just in time because it was pretty bad. They rushed him to the hospital.
Did he have a heart attack?
No, he had a massive stroke,
Ugh.
and I think the left side of his face is completely like he can't feel it. Well, not his face, the left side of his body, he can't
So now
feel
he's
it
like
at all.
JR.
But he is now out of the ICU, so that's good news. Very sad.
That is-
Very
that's-
sad.
T's and P's.
Is
Very sad.
is a stroke like worse than a heart attack? Or is it like
I,
equally? Is it like equally as shitty?
I think it's equally as shitty, but it's like a step
Like
below
clogged-
heart attack. It's
it's
definitely
clogged.
from like clogged arteries and
It's like
like
blood clots.
heart disease and stuff like that. Because Jerry Lawler, let's face it, he had a heart attack 11 years ago, maybe.
He
12
loves
years.
chicken. He loves fried
Was
chicken.
that 12,
He eats-
11 years ago, dude?
Yeah,
On TV?
on TV.
Oh,
And it's like he
Fuck, I
eats,
feel
he
old.
shows Pat. You're right. He shows what he eats, and it's like
He loves
Right.
ribs.
chicken and waffles,
he's a
ribs.
Memphis boy.
Ah,
he loves
delicious.
that Memphis barbecue.
Yeah, so it's like
the
that. All
best
that
shit in
stuff
the world.
plays a part, and yeah, man, very sad. He's also look at that age. He used to be taking it easy, taking it chill. You know what I'm saying? Like he
Was
rests
he-
his whole time still.
Ugh, that's insane, dude.
Yeah, like
How old is he? He's like 65,
he has to be like
70.
70. Has to
That's
be.
fucking insane.
Yeah, and he still laces him up. He still gets in the ring and does his thing. But it's like sooner or later, my man, you gotta,
But he's probably not taking huge bumps. He's probably just like getting in there, like winning a match and then getting out.
listen. One thing about being in the ring is a rush, dude. Like the
Well,
adrenaline that you
the
get
rush
from
itself
just
is gonna
being
give him
in
a
there.
goddamn
Yeah,
heart attack.
you don't gotta run the ropes. Your heart is already beating as fast as it could, as if
He's
you were
probably,
running.
he's probably taking huge bumps after the match.
Oh yeah, it's very sad, man.
Jerry Lawler,
Hope he goes
73 years old.
My man, 73.
That's wild.
crazy.
And JR is 71. JR looks much worse than Jerry Lawler.
Yeah,
JR is like, he looks like
He's
he might
been
be
through it, though,
81.
man.
Yeah.
He's had so many problems.
he's just recently lost his wife.
That wasn't that recent.
His wife passing away was a few years
Did
ago,
she-
right?
Yeah, she was in like a tragic car accident or something.
Yeah, 17-year-old motored down.
That was many,
was-
many years ago. Many.
Yeah, it was.
You sound like the guy from Police Academy.
All right, I want to do a Price is Right. It's Price is Right time with both of
Larry.
you. Showcase showdown. Without going over, and without looking it up, tell me the age of the third best commentator in the history of the world, in my opinion, Michael Cole.
I think Michael Cole is 45 years old.
Cole is 49.
Ooh, Sean wins. Michael Cole,
Damn it.
actual age, 54.
Wow.
I was gonna say 51. That's crazy. He looks good for his age.
Yeah. But,
He does,
I
though, he
like,
does.
seriously, at the Royal Rumble pregame and at Raw 30, I thought Jerry Lawler looked good. He looked like healthy. And he looked a lot
Didn't he
better
do
than
he
Necro
did
Butcher
didn't he
looked.
do commentary? Necro
Yeah,
Butcher looks pretty good, dude.
Well, no, I'm saying like when Necro Butcher, when we thought he was going to die,
When he was on his
Jerry
death
Lawler
threat,
looks
right.
much better
Yeah.
Yeah.
than other people who were days away from a massive stroke. Is what I'm saying.
I mean, you're not wrong. He definitely, and he was like freshly tanned.
Yeah, that spray tan was.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe he was just maybe.
It was covering. It was covering.
Yeah, maybe I thought he had good color, but it was just a good spray tan,
Yeah.
and he was actually he's like a corpse on the inside underneath that. So Nick Khan says that WWE is going to be sold in 3 months. He says it's going to happen very, very quickly.
Wait, what? When did you hear this?
He was on like CNN or MSNBC or CNBC.
It was an interview. He said it during an interview.
Yeah, he was on one of these things. He said that Vince McMahon cares about the stockholders and the shareholders, and Vince McMahon is like happy to do a sale, and not be involved. And they were saying Netflix, Comcast, and something else. And then in the report in the interview, they said, oh, well, Comcast, they say that's not going to happen. And,
What the fuck is Comcast?
Comcast is like Spectrum. And
Yeah.
like
Okay,
and they own
yeah.
they own whatever the hell. They're like a conglomerate. And he said, oh, we're still bullish on Spectrum, blah, blah, blah. So 3 months. 3 months.
So
I'm telling you, bro.
If it went
It's
to Netflix, that would completely kill live TV.
no. Just because they're the owners doesn't mean that it's going to be directly streamed on their service.
So is Netflix affiliated with any networks, or you have no idea?
No, I think they're just sole, just to themselves.
Mhm.
Hey, let
But
me ask you. Oh, I'm sorry. Go on.
I'm sorry. I think that the company's gonna be sold during Mania weekend, and it's gonna be announced during Mania weekend.
Wow.
Like, get the F out. They're gonna get the F out, everybody.
And whoever's buying it is their headquarters is in LA. There has to be,
Why do you say that?
because they're definitely gonna be in.
Because
They're
it's
definitely
gonna be like
gonna be at
Hollywood.
Mania. They're definitely gonna be there. They're gonna be in the house for Mania. You know
They
what I'm
just
saying?
built that new fucking headquarters, though.
Yeah,
Do you think that doesn't matter because they're
Yeah,
selling?
but that's just a building.
That's
it's
just the building.
yeah.
It's the company headquarters. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And I don't think he's gonna sell the entire company. I think he's gonna sell a certain amount of shares that gives somebody like say in proprietary ownership.
proprietary.
Yeah, so it's like this person owns X amount, so he really has a say in it. So I think however much he sells, it'll be enough for a person to step up and be like, well, no, I want the company to move in X, Y, and Z direction. So I do think it's going to be sold Mania weekend. And I do
So
think
soon.
that'll be somebody in LA.
That makes
think
sense.
they'll announce them at the show. Like,
the new owner.
Not the new owners and stuff like that, but it'll be like, you know how they have like the CNBC press thing, like wallstreetjournal.com, and it's like something really big that's happening with the company, and it's just going to be the person, Nick Khan, and Triple H. No Vince at all.
So do you think that the company getting sold will change drastically what's happening, like what's going on in wrestling?
No, because I think at the end of the day, it's the when you have shareholders in a company, again, you have to abide by what the majority say. You know what I'm saying? So I think that really weighs into it, and the way the company's been and the progression it's gone. I think that gave them enough portfolio to be like, hey, this is what we're doing. It's working. We don't think changing it would work because then it'll just throw this all away. And this is worth a lot right now. So let's keep doing this. And along the way, we'll implement what ideas you have. Because let's face it, bringing in Triple H was to show them we're willing to sell the company, but we're going to sell the company and still have control.
So what would be major changes? Just like where it's broadcasted?
Where it's broadcasted, the countries that get it, if they're going to be on the zone, you know what I'm saying? Apps like that, because there are a lot of countries that what I've noticed, a lot of places don't get to see what we see and how we see it. Facts. And I saw that with AEW when they lost their contract to stream in South America, I think it was.
They lost a bunch of shit.
Now they just signed on with the Zone. The Zone, the boxing network that came out like four years ago, they serve all these countries and stuff like that. So that's the way for them to get their media out. So I think it's just broadening the horizons of WWE, opening the doors that they once wanted to open that were wiped away when Triple H had his heart attack. And the rest will be gold, man. I think it's good.
Rest will be gold.
Rest will be gold. Because remember, he wanted to do NXT in like Japan, South America.
Well, they
Brazil.
just said they they just had an announcement that they're doing that, like that they just filed trademarks or made TikTok accounts or something where it was like NXT Japan, NXT Africa, NXT India. So I think that plan is full steam ahead. I mean, Triple H seems smart, like he's the real deal. Yeah,
he's so smart. So I remember
since the beginning.
Like a month ago, 2 months ago, they had a tryout, I want to say, but it was like I don't want to say it was a tryout. It was just to introduce the country to the WWE, and it was like they had Apollo Crews there.
Which country?
Maybe Nigeria.
It was like somewhere in South Africa or something, I think.
Yeah, it was like Nigeria or something like that.
And they just did the same thing in India. Like they sent Rhea Ripley and Omos over to India.
It was just like it was like not recorded events. It was just like
no, it was no wrestling or none of that. It was just bringing the talent out there with, like, I guess,
meet and greets,
signing. And it's like, and I think they're bringing the WWE to these countries that have people who are born athletes, natural born athletes, to get them the exposure, to grab those people and bring them on into the WWE. You know what I'm saying? Because who really goes out into those countries to look for athletes?
Well, yeah, and then you got
cricket players. You know what I'm saying? You got soccer players. So it's like once you start thinking like that and your mind jumps into that hamster wheel, then you're gonna grab that talent before they can, because those people don't know they could run ropes. They don't know they could do flips.
If you could get a John Cena or whatever, like a Cody of every country, you know, it's like, okay, you could run a show in fucking India that nobody in the United States cares about, but get you could have a whole different WWE going on in fucking India, right? And then like everyone in India loves it, right? And then like people in America will trickle over and you could cross-pollinate a little bit, but you could just even start your own money factory in India. And not only that, then you get you get new talent funneled in, like undiscovered talent.
That's what they were doing with like WWE UK, no?
So look at how they're doing NXT right now. If you watch NXT, every month somebody new pops up, and it's somebody new from the main roster. They testing it with Jinder. They tested it with Apollo. Tonight Bailey's gonna be on, and it's like
the champions.
New Day of the Tag Champions. Well, they actually lost to Gallus this past Saturday.
They lost the titles?
They lost the titles to the returning Gallus, Wolfgang, and I forgot the other guy's name. But if you see where NXT is going with this, they're prepping for something down the line very closely to happen because they keep involving all these other people.
And they have that one woman's wrestler who was in NXT UK. She came back too.
Mm-hmm.
I read. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's like Braun Breaker. He'll leave. He'll go to main roster. And then they'll have it be like all international at some point. And then pay them all 1/10 of the money. Genius. Ha ha ha. It's like when you go like the Dodgers. It's like you go to like Dominican Republic to find 15-year-old baseball players.
But that's literally what the Yankees used to do. The Yankees and the Mets have camps in Puerto Rico and DR. Right. And literally, I swear to God, and like these kids, they'll be like, I play for the Mets. I'm like, how do you play for the Mets?
You're 14.
Right? You're 14, 15 years old. But then lo and behold, they're in a camp that they report to every day at like 7 a.m. and they don't go home till like 8 at night.
That sounds
and guess
awesome.
What? The Mets, it sucks, bro.
Dude, I would love to be in baseball prison. Are you kidding me? It'd be awesome.
They only pick like 2 people, and guess what? The field, they wind up selling it. The kids, they don't wind up getting anything from it. It's so messed up, bro.
There's still an opportunity
to do what though?
It's like battle royale. It's like
literally it's battle royale. And everybody's out.
You have to murder the other kids to be the one.
The winners get the money.
Literally, the money, the contract, and all that. Sometimes kids get signed at like 16 years old.
All right, let's run through the rest of the headlines. Fuck them kids. We got Kota.
Who said that before?
Kota Ibushi is announced at the Collective. He's back. He's coming to the United States. Kota Ibushi. Are you guys excited? Don't care? Lukewarm?
I'll be at the Collective, so it's gonna be pretty cool. Lauderdale he said it's a good way to show that GCW is a place for a lot of wrestlers to come to show their talents. And it's
CUM.
Come. And it's kind of true though, because it's like, where else could he go instead of making a stop during Mania weekend? You know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't have to go there; he could go elsewhere.
Well, yeah, and out of all the guys who come, you know, it's like, would you rather see Kota Ibushi make a special appearance from Japan, or would you want to see Minoru Suzuki again? No offense to Minoru, but you know what I mean? It's like a special. Yeah, exactly. It's like probably like the last special guy for the next few years. So you'd really be like, oh, wow, this guy, he's like in his prime.
When guys from Japan come, I only get excited when it's like BJW guys, like the deathmatch guys, like Takeda or Jun Kasai or like those guys. It's like if it's a New Japan guy, I don't really follow that.
But he's awesome. He's actually awesome. Yeah. He's actually
great. He's just recently released from New Japan, so this is big for him. I think following this, we'll see a lot of Kota Ibushi. And he wrestled with WWE for the Cruiserweight Classic, and they offered him the contract, and he was like, "I'm okay, I'm good right now."
I'm not embarrassed to say that that's how I discovered him and found out about him. And he was awesome in that
during the Classic.
Yeah, he was so dope in that. He was so good.
I wonder why they don't do that. Like they only did that. It was like a one-time thing.
Yo, Cruiserweight Classic was like peak.
I don't want to sound messed up.
The Mae Young thing was dope too.
Mae Young Classic.
I don't want to sound messed up. It's just because Triple H had the heart attack and they bumped him from his seat. So all the ideas and plans that he had was scrapped.
But it's still like his boy, isn't it? Shawn Michaels.
Michaels
is think I'm cute. I know I'm sexy.
They're all sitting on that table, so they all have a part in it. So I think now is when we're gonna start seeing these tournaments. They just said that we're gonna start getting the King of the Ring, as a regular yearly pay-per-view again.
I'd love that so much.
That's fire. Like, you know how hurt I was when the King of the Ring was fucking demolished in 2002? That was horrible.
Well, basically, Elimination Chamber took its place, right?
Yeah, and then Brock Lesnar was the last person to really win the actual like King of the Ring at the pay-per-view.
Right.
I was like, wow, this sucks.
Was that 2002?
Yeah. He beat RVD. I think he fought Rikishi, Test, and that. They had like
that's when Stone Cold Steve Austin bounced too, right? He didn't want to be involved in it.
That's when they started doing like the matches like on SmackDown and Raw to like qualify. Right. And then on the pay-per-view came, they only had like 2 matches for the King of the Ring tournament.
King of the Ring should have been. It's a one-night motherfucking tournament.
Speaking of dead pay-per-views, did you see on Raw when Damian Priest said that he was
Horrible promo.
He blew it, dude. He was like,
Horrible.
and that's why I'll see you, and I'm gonna qualify for the Money in the Bank. I mean, and then he went on
Tried
like a
to
little
save it,
while, and he
tried
was
to
like,
save
oh,
it.
you know, I hate you. I hate you so much. I'm flabbergasted right now.
Ooh, I don't even know what to say right now.
Yeah,
Tom.
he tried his best. And yeah, and he said
It wasn't
Money
good.
in the
It
Bank.
wasn't good.
Yeah, and you know it sucks because
Edge fucked up too, though. He flubbed before Damian Priest flubbed.
oh yeah, he
Yeah,
was
Beth had to get him on track. She was like, just give me the microphone, Papa. You don't even know what you're talking about.
Yo, and you know what? I don't want to jump ahead, but I mean, I feel like, man, you know, you talk about the King of the Ring, right? And what's
Mhm.
the most famous thing to ever happen at the King of the Ring?
Hell in a
Is
Cell.
Austin.
Stone Cold Steve Austin
Oh.
said, you know, Austin 316 says, I just whipped your ass, right?
Mhm.
And you think about it, and you know, as fans from that era, it's been like slammed into our brains, right? That's like the moment that he became. And I feel like it really does speak to the thought that like at any moment you could do a thing that makes you like the guy.
Sami Zayn.
Like at any moment, well, Sami Zayn even like it came over the course of time. You know,
But
you
so
could,
for Stone Cold, it did too. Like he slowly became that character.
But
And that one-
here's
I
what
guess
here's
it
what I was
the
thinking.
The one promo made him.
Here's what I was thinking, you know, and then we were talking about Damian Priest, where it's like, oh, one moment could make you or break you. So that brings me to Sami Zayn on Friday, right? Did you all watch this?
When he
on
stormed the
SmackDown?
castle, he stormed the castle.
Yeah, when he stormed the castle.
Right. So Sami Zayn stormed the castle and beat up Roman because, you know, Jay and Solo or whoever the other guy and Solo were eating sushi. So Sammy's in the bus. They were eating steak and sushi. Sounds delicious.
Thank you, Waz, man.
Thank you, man. He was like, oh,
Thank you, Waz, man.
what the other fucking guy's name? Jimmy. Jimmy was like, oh, steak, sushi. But anyway, they were eating sushi. Sami Zayn finally got his comeuppance. Like he got like a 1-up on Roman, right? And I'm very, very invested in this, and it just brings me back full circle where like it was in this moment when Sami Zayn grabbed the microphone that he could have went from being like the top performer of the year to maybe even the top performer next year as well. And he had like his moment, like everything worked perfectly. Like, okay, everything that they've been doing has been awesome. But if we're talking about stratosphere, if we're talking about like really getting actually over, all of this has led to the moment where he speared Roman and he grabbed the mic and he challenged Roman for the title, right? And I got to tell you, I think it fell a little short.
It did.
I don't think it did.
It was the wrong place to do it. I was telling Larry this. It was the perfect. I think they delivered well, but I think this is when the crowd really has to give you that energy, give you that pop. Because if you don't pop, it means nothing.
Oh, see, I disagree. I think that there was a pop, and I think that the pop, it was ready. Like Sammy could have like made himself right there. And to me, it wasn't even what he said. It was the way he said it. It was like he was too jacked
was so
up.
passionate.
He
No,
was
was
too.
emotional.
I mean,
He was
it's
too
emotional.
passionate. He was
How
like
can you be too
Roman. His like voice cracked.
He was crying.
and he was out of he was out of breath.
He
No.
only ever tried to help Roman.
I know that, and you know
He
it was a
he
great
never
line.
Dude, it's so good. I
It
love
was
it.
good.
So
It
much.
was good, but it wasn't Austin 316. It wasn't like something that really, like to me, the way that he delivered.
I
'Cause
feel like he
Cody
was
Rhodes
already
ain't on-
Austin.
Cody
He
Rhodes
already-
ain't-
He was Austin before this already happened. Like
Nah.
he gets those pop. Like once he hit Roman, that was the Austin moment.
Okay, fine. There's been some good moments, but now he's on the offensive. Now he's turned face. It's his first moment. He gets the hoodie attack. He gets the 1-up on Roman. He's got Roman on his heels, and it's great writing. It's good. It's a good line. He goes, you were wrong about me. I didn't want anything from you,
I never wanted anything.
but
from
now I do."
you.
Right?
Dude, I got chills. You just gave me a little chills.
Yeah, that's good, but that's because he delivered it. I thought he was a little shrill. I thought that he was a little disheveled. I think that he had his moment
Dude,
to really
his heart's
ascend.
Probably going a mile a minute.
Well, yeah, but the great ones slow their heart rate down in those moments. You know, the great ones control the volume of their voice.
Right. Stone Cold was calm, cool, collected when he was talking shit.
Yeah, like and you know,
Just wrestled a match.
you might say I'm crazy, but like those details, like the tone and the cadence, those things are the difference between being like a then now forever video clip and just being another thing that happened. And you know,
I
there's
think if they allowed him to end the show after the chair shot and the challenge, I think it would have
been better. Yeah. I agree with you. I hate that he got smoked. Then he got smoked for 10 minutes, 5 minutes afterwards.
It's like they didn't want to bury Roman on SmackDown.
Right, but you know, you gotta have. I thought KO was gonna come out, but nobody came out.
No, I don't think we see KO until the Chamber. Like we see KO obviously on SmackDown and Raw, but I think the next time we see him and Sammy on the same camera will be at the Chamber.
You don't think maybe like Kevin Owens makes the save the week before, so now he's like leading him out to the ring? How about this? How about I have an idea. I just got an idea. How about it somehow gets set up where it's Sammy with KO and Jay in his corner, and then fucking Roman with Solo and Jimmy in his corner, and fucking Jay swerves them and rejoins, and then that sets up the tag match.
Well, so Jimmy and Jay are supposed to defend the titles this Friday on SmackDown against these guys, Gunther against Sheamus and Drew.
They don't even know
Braun and Ricochet. Sorry,
it's Braun and Rick.
Imagine Jay doesn't even show up, and it's Solo and Jimmy. Yeah.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that, right? So they actually have a potential continuity issue coming up, right? Because just a few weeks ago, one of them got hurt, and Sammy filled in.
It was Sammy,
right?
And they won.
And it counted. So they can't. They have to let Solo fill in.
Yeah, since the New Day has been around, the Freebird rule has flown high.
And their bloodline. Anybody from bloodline can be in the tag match.
I'm just saying.
I see that happening too.
I would hate for them to try to get something across where it's like, oh, he left him, now it's 2-on-1. Like I don't want to see. But how about this?
I see it Solo and Jimmy.
How about fucking Sammy comes out and they win again? It's him and Sammy. And even though Sammy's challenging, he helps them retain.
No, I think Sammy's no more. I think that's that whole thing is no. I'm sad to say it.
Yeah.
But I think Sammy is no more affiliation. He's no longer Shmooly.
No more, yeah. No more.
We'll never hear Shmooly ever again.
No longer Shmooly. Well, unless at elimination something happens where Paul yells out in anguish, Shmooly, which could happen.
I see.
Heyman has been very emotional lately,
dude. I don't even know if we should jump to that, but that.
No, there's not really anything else.
Just with this whole bloodline thing, it's just been very emotional for him. And
can we all agree that Brock Lesnar is fucking floundering without fucking Paul Heyman?
No, dude, the Brock Lesnar promo was awesome.
Oh, that's my great. God.
I was thinking about you.
Boy.
I was thinking about you during it too. I was like, you know what? I love this, and I know that Brian hates this.
I thought it was dope.
Shit in the world.
I thought it was dope, bro.
Why? He's like a fucking country
versus
guy.
Bobby Lashley. Bobby who?
Walker, Texas, Lesnar.
God damn it. It's the worst Brock Lesnar we've ever had in our lives.
I think it's the best.
Bugging. I think it's the best one.
Yeah.
You're goddamn bugging.
You're bugging.
You had Brock Lesnar smash John Cena like an animal. Wipe the blood on his chest. And now we have fucking Megadeth shirt, fucking cowboy hat.
Yeah, that's
awesome,
awesome,
bro.
Face. Out of my goddamn fucking eyes.
You know what, Brian? Why don't you just punch him then?
I wish I could.
Knock him out.
I'd knock him. I probably wouldn't.
Brian's all punch happy these days. He's just looking for give me something to break.
Jacked up.
And then it was a multi-million-dollar contract and a $5 vest. You didn't like that, Brian?
Oh my God, I hate it. I hate Brock Lesnar right now.
You suck. You're wrong.
So and it's just gonna be Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley in a match
at the Chamber.
No title at the Chamber. Not even Mania. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, that's a little strange.
They wrestled for fucking Don't even. It's the worst fucking storyline.
So
It is
who's
a
Lesnar
little-
going at? So who's he wrestling at Mania?
I hope he's not even there.
Maybe. So Bobby Lashley says in the promo, he goes, "I'm gonna have my agent look it over." Is his agent MVP again? And is he back with the Hurt Business? The Hurt Business seems like they're slowly coming back. Cedric and Shelton picked up the win last night against Gable and Otis.
And they had they had like a passive reform. They didn't make a big deal out of it,
They didn't make a big deal out
but
of
they
it,
have reformed.
but they've reformed. And I think at some point we're gonna get Lesnar and his partner of his choosing
Oh, Jesus.
at Mania against the Hurt Business.
Fucking.
And at this
Cowboy
point in their
Jack.
career, and at this point in his career, I think he just wants to have fun and possibly go out there with his brethren Shelton Benjamin and have a Mania moment. There's nothing wrong with that.
Brock Lesnar's had more Mania moments than most people, so you think he needs another one?
But I'm saying he's at the point where he wants to have fun. And if anybody's gonna go out there and gonna wrestle and have fun and it's entertaining, I'd rather see Lesnar.
Lesnar used to be an animal.
He still
A
is an animal,
goddamn
Brian.
fear. No, he's a joke. He's a comic. He's a comedian.
No, he's not. And I think that's where you get a little too comfortable with the beast.
I don't
A
I don't see any-
comedian.
he,
The back
he's
of my chair
pandering to
just
the
completely
he
fell off.
panders to the crowd. Pandering. Do it again. One more time, Brock. One more time, cowboy. Get out
Hey,
of
you
my
know what?
mouth.
Brian, it's-
You love Bray Wyatt, so how can you be trusted?
I love Bray Wyatt.
so you say Bray Wyatt. Did you guys see the promo on SmackDown on Friday where Uncle Howdy puts his hand on his shoulder and they just fade to black?
Goddamn jump
Got
scares.
I'm scared.
So now what? So he's not Uncle Howdy, and Uncle Howdy's not Bray Wyatt. So who's Uncle Howdy?
Well, I feel it will eventually culminate. It's gonna be Bray Wyatt versus Uncle Howdy in a match at Mania. That's what's gonna happen. Because Uncle Howdy already he just didn't he punched Bray Wyatt in his mouth, didn't he? One time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was just to get him in line, you know.
Well, I'm thinking that Bray Wyatt might upset Bray Wyatt.
Bad take, Bry. At it again.
Now I'm back to bad take Bray. I'm no longer one punch Bray.
Well, you're both. You could be both.
All right, fair.
Just watch
Well, that
out
was a
because if
horrible take.
you call his takes bad to his face, he might punch you.
Mama gonna punch you out.
That's how he solves his problems, by punching them.
I've never punched anybody in my life.
You
That
now
was your
solve
first
your.
time.
What'd you say?
That was your very first time.
Dude, my very first punch, and it was a one punch. It's boosted my confidence probably too much.
Yeah,
$1 million baby over here.
I definitely hurt myself though. I definitely punched him like wrong.
Yeah. How'd you make your fist?
I mean, I did this.
He did that.
I did this, and I went bosh.
There you go. You turned your fist like this.
I don't, dude. It's such a blur. But wait,
You got
we're
straight-
getting off track. We're getting back into incriminating discussions.
Well, yeah. Brock Lesnar's awesome. I'm not really crazy about his.
I hate that you love Brock Lesnar and hate Bray Wyatt.
I don't love Brock Lesnar, but I definitely hate Bray Wyatt.
I
Yeah.
think that you like Brock Lesnar because I say that I hate him, and you say that about Bray Wyatt because I love him.
No, that's completely wrong.
Steve says Uncle Howdy is Edge. It's Edge.
So Edge came back, and Edge's wife is back. This is very funny to me.
Did you touch her butt?
Yeah, so Edge came back, and there's a woman who's beating up Edge, so he needs his wife to beat up the woman, right? So, his wife is back, and he touched her butt last week on Raw, but off camera, and
Right.
somebody tweeted it. Somebody captured it
thing.
and tweeted
Became a
it.
thing.
And Edge saw it. It was at Edge, grabbed your wife's butt. We saw you. And he goes, hey, you got me. He leaned into it. He's like, you got me. My wife's butt's awesome. And then, so now he comes out and he plays drums on her butt.
He alluded.
Little butt. Yeah, he slapped her butt
And
three
she's
times.
She's like,
You better watch
Better
it.
watch it.
Yeah.
better watch it.
So now it's it's a whole Twitter thing. It's a whole internet joke.
I think that's funny.
Yeah, Edge is all right.
I don't know how I feel about Edge. I feel he was dope when he was coming back as the Brood, and he created Judgment Day, and now what's he doing?
He's fighting Judgment Day.
Now he's fighting Judgment Day with his wife.
Yeah.
And then what's gonna happen?
He's gonna fight Finn Balor in an I Quit match at WrestleMania.
Did that happen?
I don't know.
That literally happened. And he quit. He quit.
Hey,
Well,
Brian, side note, John Wayne Murdoch is replacing Tremont.
I didn't even know that he wasn't already going. But that's sick.
Well, now he's going.
I do. I'm a John Wayne fan.
Breaking news, Brian.
One of the craziest matches I can, to my memory, is the match that we went to in Atlantic City when it was John Wayne Murdoch versus Schlack in the Atlantic City Drive-In. Do you remember that, Pat?
Oh, yeah.
Insane amounts of glass. One of the craziest matches I can remember. John Wayne Murdoch. Shout out.
How do you guys
Schlack.
feel
Yo,
about
shout out.
Schlack.
How do you guys feel about the Chamber having a U.S. title match? First time ever U.S. title match inside the Chamber. They've done tag titles. They've done the women's title, but this is the U.S. title. It's kind of like the Intercontinental title. It's like playing a video game and just putting a random match together.
I guess to the defense of the night, all that really matters is Sammy versus Roman. So I guess it being a United States Championship match in the Chamber kind of is okay.
I don't hate it.
If it was for anything else, it would have made the Roman and Sammy match less important.
I think it's probably going to be the best match of the night.
Over Sammy and Roman.
I think Sammy and Roman is going to be the story that we want to see of the night.
I feel like the crowd is just going to be insane.
But that's it right there. That's what really feeds into it.
That's what makes it electricity.
Now, with me thinking of like spots and athleticism and like cool like shit happening, the U.S. title chamber match is gonna be dope. Seth Rollins, Montez Ford,
that's
Johnny
my pick.
Gargano,
That's my pick.
Austin Theory, bro. It's a pretty stacked chamber match.
Who else is in it?
If Montez Ford doesn't win, I'd be very disappointed.
It's Montez Ford.
Damian Priest.
Yeah.
And there's one more. I don't know. Who is it?
No, I don't know either. I'm trying to figure it out.
Is it Chad Gable? Or Dolph Ziggler?
Oh, I think it's Ziggler.
It is Ziggler. It's the Zig Man.
You know, they had Austin Theory doing commentary last night, and he wasn't very good on commentary, I didn't think.
I think I hate Austin Theory.
Oh, dude, it was horrible. It was so bad that Corey Graves cut him in the middle. Was like, I'm going to take over from here.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
No, it wasn't the best.
You know, and they're saying, like, I kind of like the idea that Austin Theory is like the throwback ruthless aggression. Like, you know, they make a point of saying aggression with Austin Theory.
Ruthless and aggression.
Right.
Yeah, he's making every time he comes out, he emphasizes something Cena has done.
Right.
Is it setting up him and Cena at Mania?
Yes, 100%.
Oh, that would be fun.
But then he has to have the United States Championship.
So yeah, he'll win the chamber.
He'll win it.
That's so annoying.
Yeah, he'll enter first and win it or something. You know, like Shawn Michaels it.
That was such a good. That was the first ever Elimination Chamber, and that was such a good one.
Yeah, but Shawn didn't come out first.
No, I was
first.
I was
referring to the first people in the ring were Van Dam and Triple H.
Dude, that Elimination Chamber is a legendary motherfucking.
So Triple H
match.
is the one who went from beginning to end, and he lost it in a bloody mess. And Shawn Michaels in his
bloody as fuck,
fights.
dude. Shawn Michaels and Triple H get so bloody together. It's the best.
Yeah, I meant like wire to wire, like Shawn Michaels Royal Rumble. That's what I was.
Okay. It's all
right.
I didn't even think about him in the chamber, but that was a great match. You're right. Yeah.
Awesome match.
I think it's a good idea. They completely separate the chamber from the title picture, but they still have like some stakes. Get a bunch of young guys in there, like underrated guys, new guys, show their thing.
Yeah.
Great idea.
I hate Theory winning though.
This is Montez's, I guess.
I would love it.
Time to shine. This is his first time.
He's gonna shine. He's gonna shine in that man. He's gonna jump off the fucking top like a motherfucking little fuck.
Yep.
That's what kind of sucks though.
Pod.
It kind of sucks because that's what happens at Mania season, right? Like, if, for instance, if SummerSlam or I don't know, maybe not SummerSlam even, but if something else was next, you would say, okay, Montez Ford's going to win it, and we're going to position him. But I kind of think that Cena versus Theory is more likely.
They're teasing it. They keep
and you know, and how
too.
about this? How about it's Cena does retro gear and comes back as Ruthless Aggression Cena?
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
I love that.
So what I think what Montez right now, what they're doing is they're allowing Bianca to live out her reign as the champion and not as Montez's girl. You know what I'm saying? Like they want them to have zero relation when it comes to TV.
Well,
They just want you to know that they're
as
married.
right,
That's
as
it.
right now, they're not affiliated in wrestling at all. They never.
Exactly.
They kind of started doing it at first. They kind of did something for a second, but they nixed that.
See, you're
Yeah.
actually making me. You just convinced me of the exact opposite thing, actually, because they were just on some talk show together, and
So
they're
they
both
have their show. They're filming their show.
right.
So now this is
Bianca
where my mind
and
is at.
Montez.
They have a Hulu show.
I
So
didn't even have any idea of this.
it's being filmed right now. So usually when a show's filmed, it takes a whole year with the edits and whatnot. So a year from now, it'll be out. A year from now, okay? Let's think of it. A year from now, what just passed?
Rumble.
The Rumble. What are they grooming somebody for?
Rumble.
The Rumble. Who could it be? Montez
Montez.
Ford being groomed at the
Well,
Rumble.
and also
the
like
night after the Rumble, guess what comes on? Their TV show.
yo, and you know what? You could see him. That makes sense. Then now he wins the U.S. title at WrestleMania. That's
Slow
on
climb.
the show. And then
Slow climb.
and then you could have them when the show is getting promoted. You could have her and him with their belts. And yeah, okay, maybe he has the U.S. and not the world, but they still like are just belt babes together.
Well, Montez can also win the championship and still technically lose it before Mania, so fucking Theory can have his stupid
Nah,
John Cena
but if you
match.
think about what Sean said is right though, because they're trying to make that show like a hit. They're gonna try to make that show a freaking hit.
Bianca is an investment, and Montez is an investment that they just noticed. Oh wow, this guy is probably even better without a tag partner and alongside his wife. Let's do it.
Let's
Give him a show.
Well, yeah,
That's kinda
and
sad, though,
they're
what
both
about Dawkins?
phenomenal, by the way.
Yeah,
They're
Dawkins
great.
is so good.
Yeah.
So what's he gonna
Dawkins
do?
is
though?
awesome.
Is he gonna just be like Montez is like hype man?
No, Dawkins will
but you
turn
know
on
what?
him.
Exactly. They go
Eventually.
the tag route.
Barbershop
Always show at prime
window.
time. Yep.
Hell
Sucks,
yeah.
but I think that is also what put the fire under his butt to really have people like us be like, wow, this guy could actually move. He's good. He doesn't need to be in a they don't need to be in a tag team. Because like over the past like few weeks, past few months, Dawkins is like jumping over the top rope, doing you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
this
Dawkins is awesome.
last night he fought Damian Priest.
they're pushing each
I feel-
other.
I feel like they
Yeah.
have a good balance. Like Montez is like the fucking crazy psycho, and Dawkins is like the chill, cool guy.
Mm-hmm.
They have
So
a
I'm
good balance.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah,
You know, Mania next year's in Philly, right?
which is Montez Ford's hometown.
Is it?
I don't know. I
Oh,
just made
yeah.
that up.
All
All right, before we get to AEW, I want to end on something that Larry says in the chat. Shout out, Larry. Says, Cody is such an actress.
Oh my god, dude.
But I thought that the best part of Raw last night was Paul Heyman and Cody Rhodes interacting. Like on paper, you say to yourself, wow, this is a dream promo right here. Cody Rhodes and Paul Heyman. But I don't know. Everything these days gets called a dream thing. And, everybody crosses over and talks to each other. So it's almost like when it was happening, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this is happening. But usually you'd be more excited on paper about it than I was. But then it delivered what it would be on paper, which is like two wordsmiths, two masters of psychological wrestling drama, just having a day.
Yeah.
Dude, as I said this to Larry, Paul can turn shit into champagne. And anything that he does turns awesome.
I agree.
Yeah,
And like
I
him
agree
and
as well.
Cody, just like having a conversation like that was the best thing that could have ever happened. And Roman Reigns didn't even have to be there.
Didn't even have to be there.
Didn't have to be there, but
Didn't even
now
have to
that
be there.
match is like important to me because of that promo.
Now, do you think that Roman is gonna get upset with Cody? I mean, with Roman.
With Paul,
Do
you
think
mean?
Roman's gonna
Well,
get
do you think that
upset with
Roman's
Paul?
gonna get upset at Paul
No.
for the way the conversation went, the way things were said, the
No,
emotion that he
Paul-
showed?
Paul was honest, and then at the end of the day, Paul dropped a bomb that said Dusty wanted Roman as a child. Was the child he always wanted?
How do you think Dusty would have said that?
The child I always wanted.
Man, that baby right there, man, that's a baby I want right there. Look at that baby right there with that black hair, man. He's so good. He's so good.
But he loves his son. That was his favorite. It was his favorite son.
How do you think that made Goldust feel?
Yeah, they just buried him.
That was so
that
messed up.
was such a good line. The best line.
You were his favorite son.
My Cody Rhodes is definitely.
Roman was the son he wishes he had.
Look at that baby
Epic.
right there.
That's epic shit, dude.
Wish I had that baby.
That's a natural born athlete right there. Look at that baby right there. That's a specimen, baby. He's a specimen.
I thought it was great. I mean, my favorite part was not the end, but the beginning when Cody Rhodes' story time was talking about ECW and Paul Heyman versus calling Dusty for Dusty versus Steve Corino. And that just brought me back to a time, man. Just brought me back to a time. And Paul, like, you know, and it was all...
He struck Paul.
Yeah, no, but he didn't really. Paul is always on.
Right.
And they're both always on. And that was pre-planned, pre-programmed, predetermined. And it was like, oh, I'm going to talk about this and I'm going to get you emotional. But Paul getting emotional and making it seem like a shoot. Like, they're not good actors, but they're good wrestling actors. Like, they can make you think it's
Dude,
a
that
shoot.
was good. That was good acting. I thought that was good acting.
I agree, Pat. That's exactly what I thought. That's something that if I was watching with my mom, she would have looked at me and said, yo, did he really mean that?
Right.
Right.
Because,
You know what I'm saying?
Like, when
That
Cody...
means it's good. If you have to think that means it's good acting.
When Cody
Exactly.
tries to
Here's
actually...
the second guess, that means that there's some kind of quality to the act.
Yeah, I agree. But, you know, and I don't second guess Cody when his lip is quivering or when he's like crying. Like when Cody tries to actually act, it
Cody
falls
tries to-
short. But where Cody tries to actually act, it falls short. But where his strength lies is just figuring out which topics to talk about, which gives it an element of realism. Like, he's not great at making it seem like it's like he's shooting, but like the topics that he comes up with, he's there. So like, it was a great mix because when Cody shoots, I don't believe him, but when he shoots at Paul, Paul's response makes it all real.
Facts.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Makes
his body language, the way he said, how he delivered it was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I think Cody was definitely overmatched, but Paul
just
brought
the
him
fact-
along.
Just the fact that they're talking like about his dead dad on live TV is like powerful.
Yeah, but it's not powerful because Cody knows that it's powerful, so he leans into it. He's like, oh, hey, my dead dad said that...
For people that are just watching it that can connect to it, it's powerful. You know what I mean?
Let's count from
Anything
now
like-
until WrestleMania,
Like that.
guys. From now until WrestleMania, starting this Friday, let's count how many times we hear Dusty Rhodes.
Oh my God, yeah, of course.
Let's count. I'm being serious. Let's count, and then at the end, we'll tally it up.
I think they're making that a point.
And you know,
They're trying to drive that home.
Cody is working in WWE right now, but he, you know, don't forget he was working in AEW in the beginning too. And
Do you
I think
that he will? I'm sorry to cut you off. Keep going.
I think there will come a time where the fans of WWE, or a select portion of them, will boo Cody Rhodes the way that they booed Roman.
I cannot wait for that to happen.
I think
Dude,
I think it's bound to happen.
I think
it's gonna
that
be so
I
good.
think that he's going to become the American Dream. I think that
No.
he's going to go from the American Nightmare, win the championship, and become the American Dream.
Nah, man. Listen,
And then
Cody.
you can't boo him. If he makes himself the American Dream, it's like stabilizing himself to not be booed.
So he did it once on AEW, and he said he'd never do it again. And it was for one match that he came out, and he was the American Dream.
Yeah, but
Cody Rhodes.
he said that
He
when he
said it.
thought he
He
was
said-
never going to go to WrestleMania.
Oh, so you
Yeah,
think
that
at Mania? You think
people
at
change their
Mania
mind.
he's gonna come out as the American Dream, Cody
I
Rhodes?
think he might win the championship, and then the next night he'll change he'll like make himself the American Dream, like Stone Cold did his 316 speech.
I mean, that's a point. I mean, the SmackDown after Eddie Guerrero won the title, and it was like the 4th of July fireworks was pretty like groundbreaking for
They're
like
obviously
wrestling.
they're building this to that.
All right.
Especially because they keep mentioning the man.
Final thoughts. Sean first. Will Cody Rhodes defeat Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship at WrestleMania?
He will defeat him for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania.
So they'll only do one.
I think Roman's going to defend both his titles.
So one on night one on night two.
Yep.
Jey Uso night one, Cody Rhodes night two.
Not Jey Uso. I think somebody totally way different. I think it's going to be a Sami Zayn rematch.
Ooh, I wouldn't mind that.
To make up for their.
I think they want to run it as far as they can, and I think the best way for them to do it is for them to have two matches, one at the Chamber, one at Mania. The one at the Chamber leaves you at the edge of your seat, and the one at Mania making sure that you subscribe to the network or you buy a flight and buy a ticket to get into that building to watch it happen. Because that's the way they go and do things.
Cody may not always be popular, but he's always fascinating. The American Dream is when he fought Anthony Ogogo and solved racism in a wrestling promo. Yeah, that's my all-time favorite.
Dude, I honestly, I'm going to tell you what I think, and I think that it's gonna go the same way the Royal Rumble went. And they hyped him up, and it's going to be his big comeback, and he won it, and that's what happened. And this WrestleMania he's going to win both titles, and it's going to be the American Dream.
It's just going to be Cody Mania this year.
Cody, the American motherfucking Dream.
I'm really upset that The Rock isn't going to be involved. I think this Cody thing's happening too fast. I don't want to see Cody beat Roman. I want to see this Roman thing go on forever.
Because The Rock couldn't come.
Yeah. I agree.
They're leaning on it completely.
Did you see what Cody said? He said, with all due respect to The Rock, he is great, but I do think we have a lot of great ones in the back. Ooh. I could be wrong with the wording there, but it was to that effect.
Yeah, because The Rock's a bitch.
He was with Adele
you just
this
said
week.
You were upset.
He travels with a gym and couldn't get in wrestling shape. You could have traveled with a ring.
I think we will see The Rock in Philly. He's a Pennsylvania native.
Why do you even want to see The Rock? What's he going to come and win and then be the champ?
No, Roman beats him.
Roman beats him.
I'd rather see Cody win and it be the American Dream.
The Rock never closed his chapter of being an in-ring competitor. He lost at Mania 29. Ray seen his hand. This is the guy, but he never had the proper send-off. That wasn't a proper send-off.
Right. I agree.
Yeah, but I feel like that's a send-off for a good wrestler because you're passing the torch.
That's a good send-off generation-wise.
Right.
But that's not a good way for your career to be like, okay, I'm done.
So you're thinking he needs like a Stone Cold. He needs a Stone Cold Kevin Owens match.
Well, they've all had it in the modern era, right? Like The Undertaker and Triple H and Shawn Michaels got to do their little thing.
Dude, that last match in Saudi Arabia that Shawn Michaels and Triple H and Undertaker and Kane had is like a travesty. That's like regarded as like probably the worst match of all time. His whole hair came off. But nonetheless, I mean, but you compare that to like the Hell in a Cell matches; those are regarded as like the best matches ever. Like,
Pat, Adam says that you're muted.
Hello. Wow, I'm muted. Hey, so Brian says Cody Rhodes holds both championship belts overhead at the end of Mania, and it's Cody Mania. Sean says they split night 1 and night 2. I'll tell you what I want to happen. I want them to split night 1 and night 2, and I want Roman to
do that.
And I want Roman to win both.
Well, if you want to be technical, the Universal Championship is SmackDown's title.
He's already been pontificating about it being the fucking WWE Universal Championship.
Yeah, because that's the guarantee for winning the Royal Rumble. Now leading into Mania, a lot can happen. We haven't even got to the Chamber yet.
So you're saying Sammy could potentially win one of the titles?
Yeah, and it's like I almost had it. and he starts going
What
to
if he
Adam
wins?
Pearce.
What if he wins one?
What if he wins what?
One of the titles.
Then he's gonna be the Universal Champion on SmackDown.
I don't think he's.
That's what I'm seeing. How would you split the titles though? Is what I'm saying. Like, how would you make it a night one, night two deal? Like, it's not very far away.
I would have Jimmy and Jay. I would have Jimmy and Jay drop the titles this Friday, the tag titles. I'd have them drop the tag titles this Friday. Then I'd
Jay
have
doesn't show up. Jay doesn't
then-
even show up.
I'd have the titles completely drop. And then I'd have Sammy
Wow, sorry.
come this close to beating Roman, but Roman gets helped by Paul Heyman, right? So now what does that lead to? That leads on to our next exit into the road to WrestleMania. So now what? You got 4 weeks. Sammy's pissed. He's angry every week, every Monday, and every Friday. He's going out trying to challenge for the title. And it's like, you know what? Somebody won, but I'm not going to make it a triple threat match. I'll give you a shot at the Universal Championship. Cody can have the WWE Championship. Cody's a Monday Night Raw superstar. Sami Zayn is a SmackDown superstar.
I'm just holding this thing.
Right now, what they're trying to do is appease to the networks. You got to remember what's happening outside the company too.
I
'Cause
feel like
those
that's too
people
smart.
play-
That's like too smart for them to even do that.
Nah, it's the way they do business, bro. The other people outside the company, they weigh in. They're like, well, guess what? We need ratings on this channel on this day. Okay, well, how can we do that? You got 2 belts, right? Let's put 1 belt this day. Let's put 1 belt this day. And what happens? The next night, the following night on Raw, you're gonna have everybody tuning in to see the new WWE champion. And then guess what? If SmackDown is still on Fox by then, everybody's gonna be tuning in on Fox to make sure that they see their new Universal Champion.
So to you, Roman's losing both titles no matter what.
Roman's losing both titles,
Wow.
and he's going to go away for a little bit. But you have to remember what's going on outside the company. They're in the midst of selling. And when you're selling to people, you have to make sure that what they see is what they're going to be happy with, what they can see growth with. So what does that mean? That means you have to split. You have to make it even. Because remember, USA Network was complaining that the champion's not showing up on Raw. He's on SmackDown. He's on Fox.
It doesn't even really make sense that he has both titles because he's only on SmackDown.
Exactly. So then what happens with the network? The people that are allowing you to show your show. Yo, why is the champion not coming out on Monday nights? We're giving you prime time slot.
Right.
Prime time slot. Anybody could get that. We could get UFC to have people smash each other.
I can't see the storyline of them splitting it.
They have
Unless Sammy wins one of the titles. Like,
it's the best thing for them to do, bro.
Slap
Sami
fight.
Zayn is the hottest thing right now.
maybe to save.
Cody Rhodes is the biggest story right now. He was in AEW, which is considered enemy territory. He's now back in a company that he made fun of,
Facts.
working for a guy that he smashed the throne.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What do they want? They want ratings. What's gonna bring that? Having somebody like that with the title. How about Sami Zayn? You're getting people heartfelt. Oh my God, Dusty Rhodes. Oh my God.
I feel like
Sami
Sammy
Zayn's
doesn't
crying.
need the
Oh my
title.
God.
Though. Sammy doesn't need the title.
It's
He just
not
needs
what they
to fight
need,
for it.
bro. It's what they want. They get. And right now, they need the ratings. So what are they gonna do? They're gonna put the strap on people to make sure that people watch those channels. Roman's gonna go away for a little bit.
I think you're onto something there because Roman did say that he was going to go away for a little bit and then didn't, so he's kind of overdue. But I guess we'll see what happens. I think a very telling step in the story will be what happens with the tag championship.
Check your button, Pat. It says you're muted again.
No, I know they've been telling me. By the way, breaking news, everybody. This one isn't going to be the first podcast that we've posted on podcast sites because apparently I've gone very long periods of the show with muting myself. You guys wouldn't know because the mic is on for you on this call, but I'm playing with this button. Usually the button's over here, but I just have it in my lap, and I've been trying to
You're
mute
a fidgety
myself.
boy.
Yeah, I've been muting myself slurping and drinking and smoking, but
You
apparently
couldn't
I've
use
ruined the show.
You couldn't use the audio from the call.
No. Don't ever ask that again.
I'm sorry.
All right, before we get to AEW, let's talk about Dark Side of the Ring Season 4. So far, episodes announced: Abdul the Butcher, Bam Bam Bigelow, Mike Awesome, and I saw a headline rumoring the inclusion of Sonny, but I'm not sure if that's going to be a thing. Muted content for you. Please smash that like button. Comment beneath what you thought I was saying during the muted segments of this show. Thank you so much. Subscribe to Blvd Bully on all social media platforms.
Does Bam Bam Bigelow have a really deep, dark story?
Just that he saved somebody from a burning building or something.
I knew that, but he survived that. He saved somebody and lived.
Yeah, but it was very exciting.
But I feel like a dark side of the ring is not a happy thing.
Well, he was very upset about it. He swallowed smoke.
Got a black lung.
Yeah.
Pop.
I mean, I don't know what Mike Awesome. I guess Mike Awesome just what his story was, other than he was just awesome, and then he was the disco guy.
Power bombing people.
And a lot of people don't know that's also Hulk Hogan's cousin.
Mike Awesome?
Yeah, look it up.
Related.
I believe you.
First cousins.
Yeah. Not first cousins. I don't know if they're first cousins, but I know they're cousins.
Are they blood?
Yeah, dude, look it up.
Blood cousins.
Bam Bam saved multiple people. So far, they've gotten Mick Foley, Terry Funk, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and James E. Cornette interviewed for season 4. And they have a host of others on the docket. Some other things happening. So it is happening. Dark Side of the Ring season 4. Kind of excited. Sounds like a good lineup.
It's like a show that is like, I like the show, but it's a show that shouldn't exist because it ruins wrestling.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean? Like, people aren't like, there's supposed to be stories that are held deep, dark stories that are held, supposed to be what happens in Vegas, you know?
Right, I guess so. Unless you're...
So, Mike... okay, hold on. Sorry, guys. He is his nephew. He's Hogan's nephew.
So that's Uncle Hogan to Mike Awesome.
Uncle Hogan, yeah.
Unky Hoagie.
Yep.
Unky Hoagie.
So they're probably going to talk about the 2000s in WCW and how they were the Disco Man and how Hogan was, being Hogan.
Right, he wouldn't even help out his own nephew.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if that's true, but I like that narrative.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's what it was because I look at the gimmick they had him working. Look at Hogan's.
Speaking of rooting wrestling, did you see AEW last week? With John Moxley just slicing his head open on live on television within the first 10 minutes of the event.
Horrible production.
He was just, they cut right to him. He was just sitting in the corner going like this.
I feel like that's happened multiple times already.
Yeah,
Anytime
they love doing it.
AEW is trash.
Yeah, do you really feel that way now? Are you officially decided to yourself, like...
Dude, I don't even think that I haven't sat and watched and cared about an AEW event in so long that I can't even remember.
Wow.
Yeah,
it's even happening. It's MJF and Bryan Danielson.
Yep.
Right, and he's going through like the gauntlet, which they've done like a few times.
Right, it's just, dude, all AEW is like a bunch of sick matches and like storylines that don't make any sense, and it's a whole mumbo jumbo with a bunch of good matches. Because there's good matches. I know that Bryan Danielson match. Who'd he wrestle on?
Timothy Thatcher.
It was all, dude. Anytime Bryan Danielson wrestles is awesome.
Yeah,
he's
agree.
Awesome.
Agree.
And he just knows, he just is it, But it's like everything. It's like the storylines don't hit, and it's annoying television, for me.
So
or not
close.
even not even worth it. It's like not even worth the time. It's like
wow.
the time is to care about it isn't even there.
Yeah, watching the clips is just as good as watching the show, and a lot of the time less frustrating.
Right.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I think John Moxley is like lame and weird and annoying.
Dude, John Moxley was supposed to take a vacation like 7 months ago.
Yeah, just go on vacation already. Go hang out with Roman Reigns.
He needs a vacation. He needs one.
Yo, you know what was awesome though?
What?
You know what was really awesome and probably my favorite thing that happened in wrestling this week?
What?
Except for Brian punching the guy. Which Samoa Joe versus Darby Allin.
Darby.
which I
was
loved,
wild.
only because Darby Allin is an insane person.
Dude, I'm telling you, all AEW is a series of good matches with a bunch of nonsense around them.
Darby Allin, Samoa Joe went underneath for a table and like picked it up. And Darby Allin did like his like shotgun cannonball through the ropes thing to the table, which was awesome.
Catapults himself.
Which was fucking awesome. And you know, it took him a long time to take the ring off and like, you know, show the planks. But muscle buster from the second rope to the planks. And he also cannonballed from the ring just through the table on his own for no reason.
Good shit, dude.
He
Yeah,
also
really
came
good
out
stuff.
with a shirt covered in thumbtacks, takes off the shirt, puts it back, tries to put it back on.
Yeah, he had a little trouble putting it back on.
I was like, what the hell's going on right
See,
now?
you know,
It was
that's
wild.
the attention to detail, and that's why attention to detail matters, because I feel like in WWE, the person who was helping them produce the match would have known that Darby was at some point gonna put back on the hoodie, so they would have had like an intern or something turn it right side out and have it ready to be put back on, you know.
100%.
And like, you know, AEW, I think they could probably find an employee to help you do that. You know, you just gotta have the smart awareness to be
Dude,
like, hey,
WWE is on such a different level than AEW on every level.
the attention to detail is to me the most important stuff.
It's what you remember the most.
Yeah, and so like, yeah, okay. Is it a big deal that he was fumbling around with his shirt? I guess not. But to me, it was, because it would look stupid, you know?
It did. When there's fumbles like that, it takes away from what's going on.
And
Yep, I agree.
and you know, the thumbtack hoodie is not that cool to me. It's not that cool. It would have been cool if he just dumped out a whole bunch of thumbtacks. I don't know.
Not chocolates.
Or chocolates.
Yeah, but it was still an awesome match. And you know, there was a
It
few like
chocolate.
Brian's heart is so pure, he thought that there were actually chocolates in the deathmatch Valentine's Day heart-shaped box.
You're getting hit with chocolate.
It was so fun to say.
WWE was dull until Sammy joined the Bloodline. I agree. And you know what? I think Roman was actually a little dull before Sammy joined the Bloodline.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of love the whole build. I did like the Jay and the Uso vibe, though. I did like that when they were fighting.
I watched last night. I watched
the inner turmoil.
last night. I watched Paul Heyman interviewed by Ariel Helwani or whatever. You know, this guy, the UFC guy.
Yep.
And it was so fascinating. It was so good. It made me love Paul Heyman and love Roman Reigns
Interviewed
even more.
on a podcast, or
It's on like a YouTube channel. Yeah. Very, very interesting. Paul Heyman's the man. Always working,
It's
though,
short?
for sure.
Is it? So what did they talk about?
Oh, my
Is
God.
it like is it like they talk about like what's going on in wrestling, or just like other things?
Very quickly, I'll try to recreate for you my favorite moment of the broadcast, because it was so funny, but I don't know if I'll do it justice. I'll try my best. So Ariel Helwani, I don't know if that's even Ariel?
Yeah, I believe that's how it's pronounced.
Is it like Ariel, like Ariel, like yeah. Boop, 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 boop. So he goes, hey, what's going on? Like, how come you weren't in Talking Smack? That was like the best thing ever. What made you, not be on that? Basically, the answer to the question was, well, that was during pandemic and live shows were coming back. And after the live show, there's no time for me to get to the studio and go up and do the show, because like we're basically the main event always. So we got to like end the show, do the ending, say the goodbyes, and I don't have enough time to get up there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, so Vince McMahon told me that I am like done with it, because it's like, okay, well, in 6 weeks we're going to be switching the format, so you're going to be done 6 weeks from now, so you might as well be done right now.
Right.
And like Ariel's like, huh? And Paul Heyman, he's like, Vince McMahon, this is the best story. He goes, Vince McMahon is a very do it yesterday type of guy. He goes, we're going to, Ariel Helwani, his signature are his glasses, but we're thinking maybe he's going to start going without glasses. Like, we're going to get LASIK surgery, probably about maybe 6 months from now. He's going to get LASIK surgery, but until then he's going to match his glasses with his like jacket, and we're going to sell a bunch of t-shirts based on that. And you know, but come February, you know, he's gonna be no more glasses. And but Vince will listen to that and be like, "What? You're gonna take his glasses off?" Yeah. So he's gonna go. The new gimmick's gonna be no glasses. And I'm like, "Yeah, yes, that's what I just said." He goes, "I love it. Thursday." Like, we'll do it Thursday. You know, that was like I botched the story. But it was very, very, very funny. Very insightful.
That sounds very much like Vince, just like that.
Yeah, it was like,
I just love Paul.
Paul Heyman's laying out this plan, this imaginary plan for this guy to get LASIK surgery and debut like 6 months from now with no glasses. And it's like Vince is just half listening. He goes, "No glasses? Cool. We're doing it this week." You know, it's like, okay. You know, I guess so. So it was just very, very funny, very insightful. AEW sucks. You're absolutely right. You know, it's so funny. It kind of is like, it's kind of like telling, like, I'm watching photos from the cruise of Jericho with Jericho
Dude, that
dressed.
all looked awesome. See, that's like something I want to be at.
I would love to go to that. But I think if I've never been on a cruise. So I feel like if I'm going to spend money on a cruise, I should go on like a nice cruise.
Oh,
Yeah.
like get known to cruises.
Yeah.
Like a Norwegian.
Yeah, like I want to go on a Norwegian cruise because the thing is, right?
Like an all-inclusive, just like relax and have like grapes put in your mouth.
And I got a little bit of advice for those wrestling fans, those thirsty Mandy Rhodes subscribing wrestling fans out there. If you're going to the Jericho cruise, try to party and have a good time. I mean, yeah, that could be a good idea, but just think, it's kind of an overpriced cruise. I feel like for the same money, you could go on Norwegian Cruise Line. And if there's...
you can't yell at wrestlers.
But if you go to the Norwegian Cruise Line and there's a babe on the cruise who likes wrestling, guess what? You're the only one there who likes wrestling. If there's somebody there who you're attracted to, who smokes pot, well, guess what? You'd probably be like one of 50% of the people smoking pot. You know, if you want to get drunk and scream karaoke wearing your Daniel Bryanson shirt, well, guess what? You'll be the only one on a Norwegian cruise doing that, and that raises your stock. So I'm just going to say, if you're going to spend $200 to go grope Sasha Banks in a photo, don't do that. Mm-hmm. Go to the strip club and get a few lap dances. And if you're going to spend money to go on the Jericho cruise to try to get laid, I would say pack up all those wrestling shirts and spend that money on the Norwegian Cruise Line.
Money.
Money.
So AEW's running house shows. Do you guys care? Because I don't think the attendance would be any worse than their already broadcast shows.
That just like I care less about those than I do about the actual shit on TV.
What about MJF Takeshita, Brian? You must care about that.
Nope.
What's going on?
Takeshita?
No. I think who and you said Daniel Bryanson is wrestling Roosh.
I don't know who's wrestling.
I think Bryan Danielson is wrestling Roosh. Or did he do that already?
I don't know.
Sean, do you know who Bryan Danielson is wrestling in his last match tomorrow before the fucking thing?
Nope, I do not know. Oh yes, he's fighting Roosh. MJF MJF went to the locker. Now I remember MJF went into the locker room after he had that brawl with Takeshita.
Yeah, they yelled. They were yelling at each other.
I wish it was Nick Gage.
I'm sure you do, Brian. You crazy guy.
That was one of the more exciting things that AEW's ever did.
I hate them all.
With Nick Gage.
Yeah, no, the Nick Gage stuff was good. The pizza cutter.
It was so good.
Yeah, it was fun.
Dude, there was a tube on AEW TV.
Right, MJF gave Roosh a briefcase full of cash.
Right.
And Roosh needs to fight Bryan Danielson and break his arm.
What was funny
isn't it already broken?
The guy who what do you call that shit? He translates for Roosh. He didn't tell MJF exactly what Roosh said. And they didn't have the subtitles of what Roosh was saying, so that was actually pretty funny.
So what did he actually say? Do you know?
Yeah, but basically, like, I'm going to do the job for you, and then after I'm done doing this job for you, I'm going to come for you, and I'm going to take your title.
Nice.
Basically, Daniel Bryan's just going to win, and then Roosh is not going to matter.
Who
Right.
knows?
He was just talking all types of nonsense.
You know that because they already announced that it's going to be an Iron Man match.
Yeah, it's just so stupid.
It's
like
terrible storytelling. They should have waited to get the stipulation. Daniel Bryan shouldn't have been allowed to choose his stipulation until defeating his final fucking challenger.
that's a good point.
Because like, why would you know
who do you
what the
think is
match
writing
is gonna
this
be?
stuff?
An idiot.
Tony Khan, I think. I think Tony
Goddamn
Khan with the
fucked up
wrestlers.
Idiot.
You know, actually, maybe more the wrestlers than even Tony. Honestly, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Gotta be
Yo, I
it's
wanna
gotta
do
be a
this, Tony.
team effort. It's a team effort that it sucks.
But
It's
it
a team
doesn't.
effort
It
of
doesn't
idiots.
make sense that Daniel Bryanson versus MJF is so bad. It's really not. But you'd think that that's like besides MJF CM Punk. That's
You mean
kind
the
of
build
like
to it is bad.
yeah, the whole thing's not been good. There's no like, I don't
It's not
care at all.
entertaining.
Yeah,
It's not entertaining.
Dude, they've literally done this same exact story already with the fucking challenges.
Yo,
It's just a repeated storyline.
and think about how fucked up this is too. Like, you know, they all want to say the lingo. They all want to put like little shoot stuff in their promos. You know, the promos always have to be like shooty. So Daniel Bryanson goes, "Oh, MJF, I'm gonna expose you," and it's ironic because this whole storyline and build has exposed MJF as being like not really like he's not really a great champion, is he? Not
No.
really. He's not really.
He's literally done nothing at all since getting it.
And it's not even like he has to do something. You know, I don't need him to have a match or do any. I can't tell you what he should be doing. I just know that what he is doing, I'm not too crazy about. It's kind of boring.
Yeah, maybe he's working through an injury.
Or
Maybe he can't
he's
really
just-
do much.
Maybe he's just worried about like making that movie set.
Oh, that's right.
Bidding War of
824 film.
2024, bro.
Anyway,
What
We shall see.
A24?
We shall see.
A24. I love A24.
We shall see.
all right, everybody, comment favorite A24 movie. Brian, you first.
Mhm. Fuck, that's really hard. I'm gonna have to either go Hereditary or Midsummer.
Oh, I'm going Hereditary, hands down.
Hands
Hereditary.
down.
Hereditary, not
They're
even.
they're like such different movies.
Yeah, but Hereditary is just my kind of movie, Brian.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
Yeah, it's really bad. And you know, every time I see it scroll across my screen,
Midsummer's more of like psychologically fucking weird and fucked up. And
Yeah,
like
if you like-
Hereditary is like terrifying.
yeah, and if you like pubic hair, there's more pubic hair in
Yeah.
Midsummer.
Mm-hmm.
Fall.
Uncut Gems is a good one.
That's A24.
Yeah.
Adam Sandler.
Wow, that's an A24 movie?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Wow, I feel like that's probably one of their first movies then.
No, that's pretty recent.
No, I'm saying like one of their first movies is not that the Adam Sandler movie?
No, I think that I feel like they've been around for a minute. I think Lighthouse is probably even older than Uncut Gems.
Lighthouse is awesome. Lighthouse might be a very close second to
So good.
Hereditary.
I may have to watch that tonight.
Oh, Lighthouse is.
It's a disturbing watch. It's a disturbing watch.
Oh, it's so fun. That's a good time.
Mm-hmm.
All right, everybody, please comment below your favorite A24 movie. Please comment below. What was the other thing we said? I don't know.
We said some things tonight.
We said a lot of things. Please join the conversation. Also, that's
Oh.
very important. I want to know what we should do for like the memberships and the subscribers. So, Brian, please
I think it should be
comment.
like call-ins. It should be like whoever subscribes is like a caller in. They get to be a part of the show.
I think that's a little too ambitious,
That's-
Brian.
Why? You think that we'll get too many? You think we'll get too many?
Yeah, like 3 would be too many to have call in. But anyway, yeah, it's like, what should we do?
I
What should we?
do want to implement a call in.
We're gonna implement a call in, but right now I'm gonna go and implement some possibly McDonald's on Uber Eats into my body.
Mm.
Because
I'm
I
gonna say right now, I'm making an announcement for next week. Tuesday is not good because it's Valentine's Day, and I have to take my fiance to a Valentine's Day dinner.
Nice.
So I
Well,
think we're doing Wednesday then.
Is that okay?
yeah.
That's fine with me. That actually works for me because I was actually going to say that as well.
Wednesday, are we gonna do 10 or do?
Is that next Tuesday? I gotta get my act together.
Next Wednesday. Next Wednesday.
This is your reminder, boy.
Next Tuesday.
Next
Yep.
Tuesday is February 14th.
Okay, so we'll do Wednesday after Dynamite.
Yeah.
We're
Brian,
gonna,
what kind of plans do you have?
I have a reservation at the Skillman.
The Skill Man, huh? Tell me about that place.
Steak dinners.
Wow,
Very nice, brother.
just going for a full
Local. We're staying local too. It's like It's like a few blocks away.
steak
Hopefully, I
on
don't see
steak.
the guy punched in the mouth.
What if he works there? What if his name is Ben Skillman?
You know, it might be possible, and you know what? He fucking deserved it.
Maybe you'll punch him again right there in his own restaurant.
Mm-mm-mm.
Sean, what are you thinking that you're going to do for Valentine's Day? I want to steal your guys' ideas.
I'm thinking I'm gonna do the home cooked meal thing.
Oh,
gonna
you know
cook?
what? That's smart.
Yeah.
That's smart. That's right up my
I
alley.
think you've sent me pictures of your cooking, and I think that she would appreciate that.
I do think I am a pretty good cook, so I think I'm gonna
Mhm.
look and see what I can whip up.
Whip it up. Now you got to make us some fucking.
Whenever. I love to cook, man.
Mhm.
Literally,
loves
I'm
to
about to go. I'm about to go make some soup right now.
I love making soup. Just pour it right in the pot and heat up the pot.
I love
Oh, yeah.
matzo ball soup.
Well, what do you guys think that Triple H is doing for Stephanie for Valentine's Day?
Having sex
The
with them.
pedigree.
You, Brian, that was a weird answer. Bad take to end the show. You had to go right for the sex. Pedigree was the right answer. But besides that, please.
Not even lay the sledgehammer. He
No.
just went straight into it. No,
Dude,
man,
he's going to have
I'm
sex.
sorry, did you see that he said something about how he thinks that he's never cheated on China with Stephanie McMahon?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, just like Hulk Hogan
Okay.
thinks that he wrestled 500 days of the year.
That's what made me give my bad take. So
Well, that was a great bad take, if there ever was one. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Blvd Bullies every week, Tuesday, 7 p.m. Next week, Wednesday, at 10 p.m. But follow us on all social media platforms. And for Brian, Bad Take Brian, the KO guy, and Ringside Sean, I'm Pat from Blvd Bullies. Out of time. Bye-bye.
Oh, so cursed, may you burn in hell forever, 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 forever.